It is most likely the final regular season home game at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Oakland Raiders and our home team. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Play fake. Mariota. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 32 on the play. Well, how about a deep ball on the first play from scrimmage, putting that secondary on notice?
Brandon, all I remember when I was a player is that we always took a test the night before the game about teams' tendencies and what they plan to do. I'm not sure we think deep ball right out of the gate and putting us back on our heels.
Throwing, Mariota. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
No such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
They'll try the right side here with Penny. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
44, Mike, 44. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got it.
From the gun on 3rd down. Herbert complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close, they expect a lot out of the 24-year-old Hunter Henry. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the run, it's Kelly. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Okay, ready?
Mike Popo.
Down to lose one.
On the carry is Kelly. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Check. Watch the before. Watch the run.
Get it.
On second down, here's Penny. He's going to be stopped well behind the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much going to wipe out their gain from first down. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. Back to throw. Herbert. That's caught by Penny. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is, finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Let's go. 8-3.
Check. Silver.
Shoot.
They'll try and run forward with Penny. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Hey, Echo. Ready.
2nd and 4. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
On the ball. Let's go.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 13-year man puts it through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mariota now. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They're indeed going. It's Mariota. Dancing to his left. And this is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Here we go, here we go. 10-2 stop.
Right here, right here. Mike, spot 4. Mike.
On first down, Herbert. It's complete to Hopkins. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. One receiver left, that's Allen.
High 7.
Operating from the gun. Herbert escaping the pressure right. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. DeAndre Hopkins, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Gostkowski the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Mariota. Found his target, it's Anderson. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Robbie Anderson. Touchdown number 22 on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The The Charger drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rashad Penny. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Right there, 54, right there, right there.
From the gun, Herbert. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. Throwing on first down. Herbert, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. These two teams have been in the same division, meeting twice a year for decades, and there was some buzz in the press box earlier about the Holy Roller game in 1978. That's when Ken Stabler was about to get sacked, fumbled the ball, it got pushed forward. Dave Casper fell on it in the end zone, and the Raiders would win 21-20, and that was the catalyst for changing the offense's ability to advance a recovered fumble. Little history lesson for all you youngsters out there. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, Alpha.
44, Mike, 44.
Looking to throw. Herbert. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. The Chargers were best in the NFL, 7 of 8 on 4th down last year, and they're going here. On 4th down, Herbert. And he's got Lockett. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Penny, a first down carry. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Alert 3.
They'll run with Penny. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 4th touchdown on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. With a catch made by Hopkins. The 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. The point after try for Gostkowski. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Herbert going deep for Hopkins. This is caught. A very nice pickup at 33 yards.
It's a gain of 33. Complete to DeAndre Hopkins. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. DeAndre Hopkins with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Gostkowski with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
He's moving, boys, he's moving.
They go play action. Mariota. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Throwing is Mariota. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
First down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Mariota now to throw on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Come on, D. Hey. Mike,
Again, it's Mariota. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Let's go.
The Charger drive about to get going. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
And the Chargers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
I'm coming.
Off play action. Herbert, he's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. A final shot before break. Herbert going deep for Hopkins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
They'll try and throw for it here. This complete to Lockett. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Off the play fake. Herbert. Going deep for Hopkins. And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Carl Nassib racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd? And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point good by Gostkowski, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll roll him out right. And his pass incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Mariota. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On 4th down, they snap it to Mariota. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Back to throw. Herbert, he lets it fly for Lockett. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Herbert, he's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man, complete. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Flushed out right. He's going to look deep in zone for Hopkins. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw again. Herbert. Complete to Kelly. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun. Herbert. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Call that a very strong gain of 24. From the gun, Herbert. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. DeAndre Hopkins becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Mariota. Going down the middle, and it's complete. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter. Mariota now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Where are they, team?
Hey, check right. Watching your 5. Hey,
First down, Mariota. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is taken in at the 5. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. A big play that time for the Raiders. 51 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Flush to his right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. To throw, Mariota. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal. Mariota steps away to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it, going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. The run on 4th and goal from the 4 is stopped short, and the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line. The Charger drive about to get going. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
10-2 saw.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball.
Now it's Penny running right. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And this one complete to Reed. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Go.
From the gun, Herbert. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Nasir Adderley, the rookie from Delaware. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
90, Wolf. He's tired of me. He's tired of us.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert. And that is caught. And the record is his. It's a touchdown. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Linval Joseph able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Herbert. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
It's now 3rd down and more.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Get ready.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Nassib, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down? They'll go for it. Looking to throw. Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The fourth down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
1. 49.
From the 39, Mariota. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. It's in the 4th quarter down in Miami, and looks like the Bengals starting to pull away in that one. If they can win that game, it would mean win number 11 for them on the season. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. It's caught, block it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Kevon Seymour. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the home team here, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out.